I'm going to link back to this video in a couple years and title it something like Overnight Success Isn't Real, Part 2. Link it back here and then blow your mind. Hi, you probably already know this, but I'm Ethan, helping young men in their self-improvement journey, specifically at the self-improvement depression stage, of knowing all of the good habits and still not doing them for whatever reason, and helping you mature into becoming the kind of man who's attracting all of the wealth, women, and respect from others, and more importantly yourself, that you could ever desire. Rome wasn't built in a day. This saying has stood the test of time, and we can simply just reword it for our purposes to say that there's no such thing as an overnight success. It's going to be fun to see how much better the lighting is, how much deeper my voice is after I gain the confidence on the video, how much more interesting the background is, what cooler clothes or haircut I'm wearing, whatever. The better thumbnails, the better sounds and edits and scripting and storytelling skill that I'll have in the video you will have seen before this, the part 2. And then seeing me kind of devolve into, I'm still in those first like 20-30 episodes of the channel where they're just going to be complete crap. I'm just doing this to find my voice, to get the practice in, and get more comfortable with publishing daily like this. Or right now the schedule is more like twice weekly, but I'm hoping to ramp it up to daily once I find my sea legs. And then after that practice, maybe I'll ramp it down even higher. Who knows, right? I plan on doing this for years. I wanted to make this video as soon as possible in my YouTube career, just so I can prove the point through that part 2 that I'll release once I'm actually kind of more popular. A couple videos have popped off by then. We've got some subscribers. Because I want to show you guys through this sort of experiment that the earlier you start that thing that you've wanted to do, you've known you should do, whatever it is, for the past 1 to 5 years, the better. You will not be ready when you start, and you're really not supposed to be. I can confidently make the argument that if you start that thing that you've always wanted to start, when you are sort of ready and it isn't that uncomfortable, it might be sort of too late. If we're taking a devil's advocate stance from the general advice people are giving it of, oh, it's never too late, always get on your self-improvement journey. Which it isn't. It is never too late. We're all going to die one day. It's one life. And you either start now or later. But the devil's advocate stance I'm taking is that the earlier you start, the faster growth you're going to get out of it. It's like when you go to the gym and there's newbie gains. It's literally the exact same thing. The more uncomfortable you get when you're filming these videos or posting this or whatever your goal or project is, the more uncomfortable you're getting, the more you're going to grow in that short period of time. I'm going to repeat that because that's a gem. The earlier you start, the better. It's better to awkwardly fumble through your first couple of episodes or whatever your project's going to be, because that's when you're going to get the most growth the quickest. If you watch the Why Self-Improvement Will Be Useless for You video that I published a couple days ago, it might be fresh in your mind that I advised you guys to get on the book Atomic Habits by James Clear, specifically to get the free Audible credit, not sponsored, remember. And in the book, he introduces us to the J-curve of success, where the y-axis is the payoff, the x-axis is the time you invest in whatever your project is. And the overwhelming assumption is that you're applying yourself, you're putting your mind to it and trying to work smart and hard at the same time. The J-curve goes in the negative and then shoots up exponentially. We can go over why this is the main case with a quick example. Let's look at me investing hours and hours in these days and weeks into making this YouTube channel as optimized as I can, as quickly as I can. I'm watching videos and reading books on how to make this YouTube channel pop. Then I'm writing up these scripts, recording the video, editing the video, and publishing it. And these 4 hours that I have in the evenings after work have high opportunity costs. I could be spending this time going to work part-time at a second job as like a barista or something. and I'd be making 60 extra bucks a day, which is why we can tie it back into that J curve where at the beginning it's actually in the negative because there's all this time investment I'm doing where I could have been making money otherwise that I'm not making any just right now when I'm getting 0 views on these first 100 videos I'm gonna make, right? The thing is, after I stick to this and really apply myself, both my work ethic and my creative thinking skills, for let's say a year and a half, there's eventually going to be that one video where it just pops off and I luck out. And that's the video where the channel finally hits the break-even point, but it exponentially explodes positively. And it gets tons of subscribers for the channel in that one video. And then from there, it really is smooth sailing using the same work ethic you developed down here in the Valley of Disappointment, I believe he calls it. That one video that will happen one day is going to justify all of the hundreds of hours that I'm putting in working in this Valley of Disappointment where there's no payoff for the dozens and hundreds of hours that I'm going to invest over the next year, next year after that, next one after that. And not only is it going to be worth it, but it's going to be exponentially worth it. Like I will be thinking, thank God I stuck with this. It's just going to open up everything. If you are currently watching this video after being linked here from that part 2 I'm going to release in a year or two, then this is the most tangible, empirical proof that I can give you that you need to start whatever your thing is that you've been postponing. It can be a project, a company, business idea, whatever. You need to start it right now because overnight successes don't exist. They all take about 2 to 3 years. Take this video as the call to action that you need to just put something out. Look at me. You know, I'm sure I'm going to be embarrassed at how bad these videos are a couple of years down the line. Or maybe I won't be. I'm going to be looking back at them fondly, like how an older sibling looks at like a younger sibling kind of fumbling around. Definitely that's actually closer to the case, I can already tell. But suffice it to say, if this video isn't enough to get you to start that thing that you've been thinking about, nothing will be. And you should just stop pretending that you're interested in self-improvement and get into something else. I'll leave it on that positive note. Please consider liking and subscribing if this is the kind of content that you can see pulling you out of your self-improvement depression and helping you to become your best self. Or if you just want to follow along my journey, going from 0 to hero on this YouTube thing and showing everybody that putting in the hard work and applying yourself does pay off in the real world. I've been Ethan. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next episode.